Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel Volvo Christian, and welcome to this final hurrah of the V90 Cross Country. Sadly, I think it's going to be a long time before I get to drive this astonishing wagon again. That actually makes me quite sad, because I really love this wagon. This is my dream Volvo, this is my dream wagon. This delivers almost everything I want in my Volvo. The biggest and only negative with this car are the powertrain. I wish Volvo could implement a plug-in hybrid option, but that conversation are too long for this video, so we're gonna take that in the comment section or later on if anybody wonders. But anyway, today I sadly have to say goodbye to this exact V90 Cross Country. So this is a Presscar that I have been lending for the last week from Volvo Car Sweden. So a huge thanks to them for lending me this car. I have actually just arrived here at Volvo Car Kista, just outside of Stockholm. It's Sunday today. I picked it up a week ago, and sadly now it's time to deliver it back. I will drop off the key. But I thought I was going to have to make a goodbye video, and I postponed it and postponed it and postponed it, and now, yeah, I have to deliver it back, and then I will jump on a train back to Örebro to pick up my S60. But anyway, in this video I'm gonna take you through some pros and cons from the V90 Cross Country experience. So I hope you will enjoy it. Obviously, we are starting with the pros, because that list is so long. I could just go on and on with all the things I love with the V90 Cross Country. But I think I have to start with the obvious first, and that is exterior design. Also, come on, it is a Volvo wagon. You can't go wrong with a Volvo wagon. Let's look at the V60, V90 and the Cross Country variants. Oh, I'm such a huge fan of this body shape. And when they lifted the V90, that was just top notch for me. I really love this lifted version. They actually got a painted one just inside of this showroom, and that is my favorite actually, when you got the skirts painted. Maybe you lose some of that cross-country vibe, at least that off-road all-around vibe, but I love it with the painted skirts. So I will definitely go for that. So exterior design from every single angle, and especially after model 21 when they upgraded the rear lights. Here we also have the upgraded front. You see this fog light are now round instead of placed in the lower bumper as before the facelift. So we yeah, from every single angle, exterior design just top notch. It looks absolutely amazing with a roof box as well. Denim blue, fully painted, ski guard roof box. Yeah, preferably B6. Another thing that I absolutely adore with the V90 Cross Country, that elevated ground clearance from the lifted V90. Let's see if I can get down here. This makes a pretty sweet in and out step of the car, because you sit just straight in, at least depending on how high you are. But instead of sitting down in the S60 or in the V90, you just sit in. So the in and out grass are pretty darn awesome with this lifted wagon. And that elegantly puts us for my third pro, and that is interior. I could probably say interior design, but that's not the key point for me. The key point are the experienced luxury. And I've owned both a XC90 and a S90, and both of the times after those cars I went to a 60 series. So after the XC90 I went to XC60, and after the S90 I bought a V60. And both of the times I highly recommend not going from 90 to 60, because this leather piece here, because this car has the leather wrapped dashboard, but in the 90 series that follows over in all 4 doors. And that is something you're gonna miss when you go in a 60 series. You instantly feel that you have downgraded, and yeah, surely you have downgraded from 90 to 60. But these small elements, and also the core inlays that follows over in all 4 doors, it's just another level of interior luxury. But maybe more important, at least for me, the sun visor. This felt material instead of the cheap plastic that you get in the 60 series. This is something I appreciate, because you touch this very often on sunny days, and it feels of high quality. It feels premium, as a 90 car should. We also have some nice elements with leather along the center console. You get that also in the 60 series if you go for the plug-in hybrids. But say you go for XC60, plug-in hybrid or not, then you won't get this leather wrapped center console. So this is just the small elements that enhances the 90 series to the next level. You see also here in the rear doors, maybe I can take you on the other side, so easier to look, because the same experience are in the rear doors. Leather on the top of the door cards, integrated sun curtain, the core inlay, beautiful amber ventilated leather here in this car here. So that lets us, or gives us also amber leather in the door cards. Beautiful interior. So the interior sensation of having a 90 series are not to be taken with ease. There is a reason why a 90 series costs more. And these are just some of the elements. The door cards, the sun visors, the center console. It's also better insulated against noise. So that was my top 3, but I will actually include one more on the pro list, and that is the driving sensation. This exact V90 Cross Country I opted with the rear air suspension. Let's see if you can see this air cushion in the background here. Oh, sorry for the shake. And I really love the V90 Cross Country on air. I think, in my opinion, this is the perfect mix from the regular V90 inscription or R-Design. You get the dynamics. It's not, you don't obviously get everything, but you get some of that dynamic when you drive on twisty back roads. It's pretty fun to drive spirited, not S60 fun, but at least you can drive spirited. But then you also get some of the comfort from the XC90. And that is the biggest advantage, because you get both the comfort from the XC90 and you also get the dynamics from the V90. If you have driven the XC90 spirited through a twisty back road, then you know how that feels. And this is much more planted, so you can actually hammer through some twisty corners. But you still get superior riding comfort if you just want to hammer down motorways. So driving experience. And that rounds up my 4 points, my 4 pros. Exterior design, in and out step from the car, and interior quality and luxurious feeling, and lastly the driving experience. So that is my 4 pros with this car. And that takes us over to some cons, and one of the cons are actually availability, because there is a reason why I'm in Sweden and testing the V90 Cross Country. And that is because Volvo in Norway, they don't have Presscars anymore, because they don't sell the V90 in a regular way, sort of, because since Volvo Norway are using the V90, since the police force in Norway are using the V90 Cross Country, then it's kind of available for private customers through a special order program. Then you can special order a V90 Cross Country. But that option will be removed during 2023. Then it's no longer possible to order a V90 Cross Country in Norway. And why, you may ask? Well, the reason I found just up here. The XC40 and the C40. And also these XC60, XC90 if we have any. Because in a world or time with battery electric vehicles and plug-in hybrids, and there's sadly no room for the V90 Cross Country. So that's why I'm in Sweden. Because Swedish people can still enjoy it. I'm not sure for how long, but they can still enjoy it. And I've seen, I'm not sure how many V90 Cross Countries I've seen. It's like tens and tens every single day. In Norway I can drive for weeks. So Swedish people can still enjoy it. But availability, I think it's going to be discontinued at some point from Volvo. Because Volvo are more and more a SUV brand with XC90, XC60, XC40 and I'm not sure if you can classify the C40, but it's just a coupe, SUV coupe. So that leaves the V90 Cross Country at a pretty awkward place. It's not a SUV, and maybe the era for wagons are over, at least here in Europe. But maybe Volvo will bring it back as a battery electric vehicle at some point. But availability of one of the cons, because we can't get it. And if you use the special order program in Norway, you're gonna be a huge subscriber to the Norwegian government. They're gonna really rip your wallet out, because it's so loaded with tax. Like this exact one, spec'd in Sweden, are about 800,000, and they have a white one just in there at a discounted price, brand new, at 700,000. But 800 are the new price. Well, in Norway you have to pay 1.2 million kroners. Just 1.2. I know it's awesome, but freaking god, 1.2. You can get an EX90 for the exact same cost. EX90 1.2 or a V90 Cross Country with diesel at 1.2. Yeah, you're gonna have a insane depreciation in Norway for that car. But yeah, so availability, that is actually one of the cons. But one of the more let's see, direct con with this exact version, this is a model year 23, so we got the Android. We're just gonna start it up. From model year 22, Volvo decided to remove the drive mode selector. If you have a plug-in hybrid, then you still got some drive modes. I can just drive over in the shadow. If you have a plug-in hybrid, Volvo still has drive modes, but for the cross country variants, you may ask how you choose your drive modes. Well, you press this settings wheel. Hope you can see this. Maybe I can draw it slightly further up. Volvo's cross-country version, they had drive modes before. You had the comfort, you had the eco, and you had the dynamic. Now everything are reduced to drive modes off-road. This is the only drive mode you have. Oh freaking god, come on. They just removed everything. You may ask, what's the point of these drive modes? Well, for one, it is, if you want to drive spirited, then you could put it in dynamic. Then the let's see, then it will calibrate the throttle response and be placed at a higher what's the English word, like the rev counter, for more spirited driving. And then if you just want to cruise down the highway, then you can put it in eco, so it's not as responsive and it's placed at a lower RPM. But here there's no drive mode, so it's just placed at like a middle point. I think that is a compromise, because instead of having more specific drive modes for specific driving environments, it just takes them all in one and say, yeah, you get a standardized drive mode, and then you can just select off-road. So I think that's a bad solution. And that also brings us over to my con number 3, and that is partly oh, I can't speak, partly fuel consumption. You see, on my current run yesterday, I drove from Oslo down here to, let's see, I can open up this one, down here to Gothenburg. It was about 496. I have driven slightly today. I've driven 15 today, so around 480, and I had a fuel consumption on 8.2. That's actually not too bad, given it's rolling on 21-inch summer tires, and it was most of the time it was 110 zone with 120 at the end, and I used the cruise control like 95% of the time yesterday, so it's not too bad. But 8.2 are still on the thirsty side. When I drove from Stockholm here to Gothenburg last weekend, it was about 9.6, 9.7, but then I had a higher speed, and I didn't drove so much with the adaptive cruise. So yeah, fuel consumption are maybe one of the cons. So that was my pros and cons. I'll back up again in the sunlight so we can take the final glance with the best angle there is. I hope the camera will refocus. So that was it from my V90 Cross Country pro and con. And now it's time to deliver the key, maybe give it a quick wash, and then I'll be jumping on the train. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have the possibility to purchase a V90 or just test drive, I highly recommend it. And especially if you can find one with air suspension. That is my top tip. For the engine choice, this is the B5 petrol. I really love this engine. It's a pretty awesome engine. Slightly on the thirsty side, but if you compare B5 diesel versus petrol, then they're pretty equivalent, and then I will go for the diesel version, actually, for just a lower fuel consumption. But if you can get the B6 with over 300 horsepower, this is about 250, and the B5 diesel is 235-ish. If you can go for the B6, then you will get over 300 horsepower petrol. That is the sweet spot. I have only driven that once, but I absolutely loved it. But here in the B5 setup, I would go for the diesel actually instead, just to get the slightly lower fuel consumption. But I think that was it. I will wrap it up. Thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoy it, and as always, I appreciate every like, comment, and if you consider subscribing to my channel. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Take care and bye bye.